What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trades, and welcome back to the channel. Well, yesterday we had major news, which we'll review today, and we'll also explain how it all ties together, really, for the overall market and the crypto. But you guys, as usual, before we jump in, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell so you never miss my breakdowns. Okay, so to start with, we had the CPI data dropped yesterday. It was pretty much mixed, right? We had the headline CPI, 0.3 month over month, 2.7 year over year. Now, the core is the one that the Fed is watching, which is excluding food and energy. That came at 0.2 month over month and 2.9 year over year. Now, that print wasn't exactly, amazing, but it was soft enough, right? It was soft enough to get it to the point where we had a little bit of a pump, but then we were ranging. Why? Because the data was just like that. It triggered a little bit of pump, but nothing serious. Now, the main thing keeping CPI from being worse, which was interesting because I checked the CPI report, and like the main thing that is keeping the CPI from being really bad is the fact that energy prices dropped, you guys. Now, remember crude oil up, down, like we had the move back down, crude oil failed, which really helped the inflation to look not so bad in a way. Now, why does this matter? Well, it matters because if inflation keeps creeping in, the Fed may keep the interest rates high for longer, and markets, they do not love that. They do not love that. So otherwise, market yesterday was pretty much weak overall, besides technology sector, right? Nvidia gapped up and it's been leading the markets for months for now, on end. So Fed boo, yeah, I know. So, the thing is that President Trump also yesterday approved renewed export licenses for Nvidia H2O AI chips to China. That's a reverse on the ban that we got from April. So what is really the taco trade? Now, traders say taco trades. Now, taco trade really stands up for Trump always chickens out. Right? Trump always chickens out because it describes how Trump often threatens the tariffs, then market tanks, but then he backs up or pauses or whatever, and then the market rallies. So Nvidia CEO met with Trump, and soon after Washington signaled a trade talk, markets interpreted that as Trump chickening out again on tariffs. So it is what it is, but the technology sector was good yesterday, so not too bad, not too bad. Now, the US dollar is surging. Yesterday was absolutely surging, breaking above key levels on the weekly chart. And then as expected, of course, gold is pulling back when dollar is going up. You guys need to start remembering these things. But the thing is, today we have another inflation reading, right? This time on the business side. So we have PPI, right? So PPI will show how much prices are rising for producers, right? Which could eventually affect the consumer prices. Now, higher than expected CPI could scare the markets. Pretty much same thing. Now, we need to watch how the markets react on the open, but for general information for you guys, CPI and PPI, when CPI comes, PPI usually follows. Now, overall, we are, in my opinion, in a delicate spot, right? Big tech is strong. Big tech is strong, no question about that, but inflation is creeping up. The dollar is rising, yields are rising, so the rest of the market is showing weakness, right? Be cautious, manage your risk, that's all I'm going to say. And we need to watch out for the PPI today. Now, we're gonna look at the charts, and we're gonna yet again discuss how the hell did I use a crystal ball, or what did I use to determine that July is going to be the month where alts are going to pick up. We're going to review that again because you guys, you don't tend to watch the lives from before, which actually you should. You should. If you're interested in the way I trade, I understand that the live streams are specific for specific times, but you also need to watch them because you will pick up a lot of things and you will learn a lot from that. So that's just my, suggestion to you guys. They're all on YouTube, available for you to see. Yes, Sugar Cookie, like the video. Diamond Eye, sorry, like the video if you haven't. Okay, cool. We're moving on to charts over here. Well, that's my Twitter. Hold on, nothing interesting on my Twitter. Cool. All right, you guys start chatting in the chat box. And again, don't forget, if you want to get access to Discord, you can get the access on Discord only through YouTube. So you got to follow the YouTube. You got to come in the description box to find a way how to get on Discord. And also, we're starting the mentorship in a month or 2 months time, depending on how I do timing wise. But make sure you go on the waiting list. Of course, you can find that in the description box again, or in my bio if you are on Twitter, since now we're streaming also on Twitter, which is kind of interesting because usually my system is so bad that I can't even do 2 streams at a time, whereas they're promoting the system that you can do streams on Twitch, on blah, blah, blah. It's all caps. It's all cap. Okay, cool. Now, Bitcoin, we start this morning. As usual, I did the morning breakdown for Discord VIP members so they know what the hell is going on. So then we're going to review it for, you guys as well over here. So current target for Bitcoin, 118491.4. To be more precise, we're targeting this high at the moment. Now, it's going to be kind of interesting because, this move to the downside created a lot of imbalances. And what did I tell you yesterday? The scenario is very possible right now where we just sort of like get a bump, retest true week open, and then we dump to the CME gap, which is right here. It is illustrated as a fair value gap on this chart, but if you look at on the futures chart, you will see that that is a gap up, right? Gap up in the markets that needs to be filled to some extent. So this is going to hold a massive support for us. This is a massive zone that we need to be watching out for. To be honest, yesterday, you guys know that I'm short from the top, but the idea here is that yesterday I was watching for this move, and I would have taken long if price wicked a little bit deeper, at least to touch into the CME gap to show me that it's respecting support, right? And then I would have probably long, but that didn't happen. So this to me now, it's all liquidity generation and a range formation after a drop down. So all of this is illustrating to me a very simple scenario. And you guys know, because you've been here with me for quite a while. So what am I expecting right now? I'm expecting a range to form, right? So we wait for the range, and then one of the moves, either to the upside or to the downside, is going to showcase to me, right, when it exits the range, is going to showcase to me which is the manipulation move. This is what is going to showcase to me, where should I trade for the rest of the week. Does that make sense? Now, for those of you who are new here, right, there is lots of new people here, and welcome if you're new. Make sure to subscribe. You're not gonna regret doing that, I promise you. So yeah, let's go on a weekly chart quickly over here, and we're gonna review the timings in the market and everything. All right, timing in the market is very, very important. So you guys, you're gonna learn my system, okay? Especially when you go on the wait list and you sign up for the mentorship, that you're gonna make sure you do that, honestly, because you're gonna be ahead of everyone else if you do that. So the thing is, you have the true year open down here, right? You have the true year open down here. So for me, this is a clear reversal, right? A clear reversal. Now we also know, right? We also know how long is this bull market going to be for. Newsflash, you're going to be the only ones that know that right now. So listen up very, very carefully. The bull market is going to end on February. All right, February 2026. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope we're all on board with that. This is according to the methods that I trade, and that is according to me. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. So if you guys believe in me, that is what I think is going to happen. Now, because what is fib time? Tibissimo fib time. So basically, yes, 10K members loading. Yeah, you guys, honestly, help me out to make this happen. I want to get 10K on YouTube. Like, this is my goal, and I'm gonna get it. So basically, all right, we reverse new year open. This is the fiscal year. Now from here, we're opening the second quarter. What am I expecting from here, right? July. July, I'm expecting for price to create a range. Price is going to create a range. How deep is that? How deep is that range going to be? How deep is the range going to be? This is a question. Hold on. We don't need that anymore, do we? I think everyone understands what we did over here. So how deep is the range going to be, in my opinion, right? It could be deep. It could be very deep. It could be as deep as 30% pullback from the high, right? Because that's what usually Bitcoin does. It does around 30%. It's possible it could do 20%. It could do, you know, it could go down here to the support again, 20%. We don't know, right? We don't know how deep the range could form for now. But the scenarios that I'm looking at are these, right? And that range, I'm seeing it to happen up until obviously the second quarter finishes, which is for me right now. Okay, right now. I know it's third quarter. If you're following from January, you know, I understand that, but that's not what I teach. That's not what I use. So, right now, range territory up until, you know, October. And in October, we have the last move, right, for a few months, which is going to be a manipulation move. And then we're going to enter into a phase that is going to be to the downside. Does that make sense? It's going to be to the downside for maybe 10 months. For maybe 10 months. All right. And then probably end next year, we're going to be picking up back again. Right. So that's what I see for these crypto markets. Very good. Dottie is in agreement. I love that. You know, so right now this chop is really nice. It's forming really nicely. But you also have to remember how many people are short at the moment. Like everyone was trying to short here. Everyone was trying to short 110, 111, 114, 18. Everyone was trying to short. No. So they're out right now. They've been liquidated, right? New shorts are starting to generate. Now they could be, you know, at least retraced in that wick, or they could be retraced with a small move to the upside, or at the very best, another leg up. But that is it, in my opinion. And then we're going to range. We know how to trade ranges. My model is designed for ranges. So we're happy and we're comfortable with whatever happens right now. Now, what does that mean for alts, right? Well, this is the moment where Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, which is exactly what is happening. This is what we said months ago, right? July is the time. We said that. Okay, I said that to you on live stream. It's all on record. So it's happening right now. The thing though is that when Bitcoin starts pulling harder, alts are going to dump again a little bit more than we would like. Does that make sense? Because now the way you're looking at Bitcoin right now, okay, the way you're looking at Bitcoin right now, if we start dropping below the CME gap over here, right, and start creating new lows and become essentially bearish to some extent, the altcoins are going to pull back big time. Right now, they've been holding with this dump. But if we start pulling back further, they will dump as well. Now, having this in mind, and having in mind also, Mr. MG, what time frame are you talking about here? So, Mr. MG, you need a little bit more time to understand the charts to start with. So to understand what I'm talking about. It's not about time frames over here. You know, and this is what I tell people, right? This is what I tell people. It's very great when you're learning trading, right? And there is so much to learn that you are like constantly learning and you feel that you know a lot, you know? But the reality is that, you know, it's one thing to know, it's another thing to apply, and it's another thing to know everything or like most of the information to create it into a confluence to start to understand things. So, you know, I highly suggest if you're learning to trade, do not like waste your funds in trading because you're going to get caught up in the market. The market is designed like this. So I'm just trying to protect you guys. Okay. So Mr. MG, it does feel that I'm learning a lot, but I totally agree with you. Yes, Mr. MG, you're learning a lot. Your charts are looking great, mate. You're gonna get ahead of everyone very, very fast. I can see it because he's on Discord. He's on Discord. He's consistent every day asking questions. This is what is going to get you there. There is no other way. Is it lagging or is it only for me? Oh my God, mate. I hope it's only for you. I swear, I don't know. So the thing is, I just needed to understand that the way Mr. MG is approaching the markets, you know, it's approaching, you know, the Discord channel, is approaching the community is the right way, because I've seen it with my eyes with so many years, right? Looking at people, learning. Let me put myself on big screen so you can actually follow what I'm saying. I've seen it, you know, people that are learning are proactive and they get closer faster, you guys. All right, you have to be proactive. You have to be asking questions. Even if you're asking the wrong question, in the case of Mr. MG asking me right now, which time frame are you talking about, is 100% correct. You can ask all the questions, even if, you know, the question is not applying. But importance is you're proactive, right? That is important. My win rate has risen about 50%. Yes, I can assure you that everyone's win rate has risen 50%, especially in the last 2 weeks. I can assure you. Right? This is the thing. This is the thing, right? But as soon as things starts getting tough, you know, that's when it goes. Also, the thing with trading is, right, when you have a system, right, and a model, and you trade the same thing over and over again. Let's see, when you don't have all the knowledge, right? For example, because I can see where a trade is going to reverse right now. So for example, or maybe I've taken the wrong entry, so I can reverse that. I can protect my capital. But a lot of the people that are learning and are trading one model, right? They're sticking to that model, which is the exact thing that everyone should be doing, right? That is learning. Stick to one model and then evaluate your performance over months, right? Over months on end, because the market changes and your strategy, you know, it's very hard to adapt to everything. It's a very complicated market, but that's the thing. Yeah, you need to be consistent. You need to be proactive, just like Mr. MG, and you guys are gonna get there. Easier said than done. Yes. I agree, you guys. I agree. Just trying to help you out here. Okay, cool. Moving on, you guys, restart the chat again so I can see you, and make sure you like the video if you haven't. Okay, so this is what I was trying to tell you, right? You are looking at the CME gap. That's it. Now, if price starts dropping below this support area, alts are going to feel a little bit of pain. All right. And if we're correct about, you know, Bitcoin getting into a higher time frame range, to help Mr. MG could be, you can look at it on a daily, you can look at it on a weekly, you can look at it on a 4-hourly, whatever. It doesn't matter. But if we're true and Bitcoin is going to enter into a range now for a few months, right? This is just illustrative purposes. Could be 20%, you know, pullbacks could be. Everyone, when they start seeing alts dropping and Bitcoin dropping, right, to form the range, they will freak the hell out. So everyone will be like, you know, bear market starts, bull market over, we're finishing, it's all done, but it's not going to be. That's the thing, you know? So this is what I'm trying to prepare you guys, because that is going to be the next stage right now, especially with Taco Trump. Right? Taco Trump is going to make sure that the markets pump and dump and pump and dump and pump and dump, and the volatility is high and nobody knows what the hell is going on. I'm going to teach you all these things, you guys. I said, sign up in the wait list for the mentorship. You are not going to regret this. And get on Discord as well. Okay, so, you know, this is the next stage. This is the next stage. Alts are going to do well because alts are not even close to where they actually need to be, right? They're not even close to where they actually need to be. So there is a lot more. There is a lot more to come. But on the pullbacks, when Bitcoin starts creating a range, if my bias is true, alts are going to start dumping as well, 10%, 7%, 8%, 9%. And then everyone will be like, what the hell is going on? But this is the reason why we're getting these pumps right now. This is the reason why we're getting these pumps. Look, from the daily support, Ethereum did already 50%. Okay. So imagine from here, 15%, 10% retrace, 15% retrace, whatever. People are going to panic, but this is going to be very simple. This is going to be just price retracing to an imbalance. It's going to be that simple, you guys. This is going to be price retracing to an imbalance. It's my duty to prepare you for that. I feel. Anyways, ETH is looking good, still bullish on the 4-hour time frame. So for now, there is no confirmation. Let's go back on Bitcoin and discuss what is going to be the confirmation for a short entry over here. Now, looking on the daily time frame, you want to be on a higher time frame. There is no confirmation whatsoever. Ideally, I wanted this week to drop a little bit further down to at least touch the CME gap so I can take a long, but that didn't happen, right? That didn't happen with a little bit, but it's still not good enough for me to be in a long over here. So the thing is, like, you really need a close below this area to confirm that Bitcoin is weak, right? So this is the thing. If we had a close below this area and then price tapped into the CME gap, that could have mean that bears are sort of on the way. So probably that's why they didn't pull that move, because they were instructed, the market makers were instructed to bring price above this level, because this is how the algorithm works. I trade by algorithm tricks that I found. So then that's what I use. And when the market pulls these things on me, I know what it's doing. I know what it's doing because that's what I'm waiting to see. The exact thing that I'm waiting to see is for price to close above or below a specific area. And closing above tells me that the bears are not yet in control. Closing, below, it's going to signify to me that the bears are starting to get in control. All right. So yeah, current target for Bitcoin, just like we said, we need to take this fractal high over here, in which scenario we're going to tap into the first price imbalance over here. So let's see if that is going to be a retrace like we said yesterday, and yet again another dump, which is going to probably give some entries over here, or is going to reassure us that indeed price is weakening. Does that make sense, you guys? Yes, great. Now you guys, make sure you like the video if you haven't. It's very important for the algorithm. It's very important because I want to keep doing these things for you guys. I want to keep helping you, and the people that are with me, they have taken so much value in the months since I started that it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Okay, cool. So what did we say? Ethereum is bullish, right? On the 4-hour time frame, target is quite high. It's over here sitting at 3,436, but in fact it's even higher, right? It's even higher because on the 12-hour, on the daily time frame, we have liquidity above over here, so 3,521. So isn't it going to be absolutely interesting if something like this happens, right? We take our target and then we start reversing without taking the liquidity over here, right? Without taking the liquidity, then start reversing. So if that starts happening, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a great moment for re-entry, in my opinion, because that is going to give us, another opportunity. But again, do not feel FOMO, because yes, market is pulling up extremely right now, but when Bitcoin starts weakening, and I know alts are holding, but if Bitcoin starts dropping substantially, altcoins are gonna drop. There is no way around it. So this is what I need you to understand. All right. What else? Did someone please look at algo? All right, let's look at algo. Let's look at algo over here. almost at liquidity levels over here. Higher time frame. Hold on 1 second. Start on a weekly. Yeah, mate, like, see, this is one of the charts I don't really like. This is one of the charts I don't really like. I don't really like that chart, to be fair. Weekly resistance at 0.758. Let's see if we're strong enough. That's about 170%. That's pretty much just like how all the alts are looking at the moment, 150, 160, 170%. So yeah, I think leverage is the play for me here, because I don't see very big returns on alts, if you see what I mean. BTC dominance under 61% is change structure to bearish. Alt pop-up, no alt season for me, only selective coins. Correct, only selective coins. And then you know, in my opinion, even, yeah, the selected ones are gonna do well, and some of the secondary selected ones, you know, 150% max is what I see on the charts. What is that, syrup? Let's have a look at syrup here for our JIT. Oh, what am I looking at the moment? I don't know. I've no idea what I'm looking at right now. What is that? Can you explain to me? Liquidity above, liquidity below. This is not something I'm interested in trading. Not at all. Doesn't have enough history for me. Not interested. You have a long setup, you have a short setup. just you know, I stay away from stuff like that. You know, I just like delete it from my chart. I don't care. It needs to make sense. It needs to make sense. I'm not gambling in these markets. Did someone say APT? I'm not sure. Can we look at APT? Let's look at APT. Hold on. I think we looked at APT the other day, but I mean, you know, yeah, $6. $6. If we're lucky, $10 on that. You know, let's look at the daily. Yeah, I mean, if it really does well, but it's one of the weak ones. It's one of the weak ones, right? It's one of the weak ones. It's one of the ones that hasn't even broken $5 yet. At this stage of the market right now, July, if this was one of the coins that I'm interested in, it should be trading above the 0.236 level, and it's not. So I'm not very keen on that. I'm not very keen on that. But let's say magic happens, and it starts trading like the others. You know, it's probably going to be $16, but I don't see it, right? I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Lots of resistance. In fact, if I get $10 on this, I'll be like, wow, you know, I'm good. I'm good. Checks. What are these alts, you guys? How come you are like into so many weird things? What is checks even? What is that? Chin Tai. Chin Tai. Tell me it's not Chinese. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Degen time, Gabby. Yeah, that's it. No, leave the Degen to Dottie. You know, he's a Degen. In fact, you guys, like I said again, get on Discord, because we have a Degen group over there. We have a Degen group, and you know, we have lots of good traders over there that are, you know, trading small caps, and they're doing 2, 3, 5, 20x. It's actually insane. So I think they're probably the ones that are gonna be doing well out of all of us. But anyway, so on Chintai, maybe 0.7, but it's not looking good at the moment. at all. It's not looking good. It has nothing of a bounce over here. I am not going to trust that at all. So no, for now, for me, this is not something I'm interested in looking at. But like I said, yes, there is opportunities, there is some liquidity, 0.7 potentially, you see, but that's kind of insane if it does that, because that's 400%, and I don't see any alt on the market right now doing that much, right? Besides the one that could go in price discovery, and we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, right. Miles Doge. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I don't know, mate. I don't know why, I cannot tell you. Probably I can, but I'm not going to. So anyway, okay, leading RWA. RWA are quite hyped right now, and I do understand it. This is the thing with crypto, right? You are wanting to merge crypto with TradFi in some way because you want to make it work, right? And we have a system, we have a base. So, and this is what this guy, I was watching this guy from Ada Cardano. He had an interview or whatever in a podcast, and then he was talking that this is the thing that crypto needs to do. It needs to merge with the TradFi so we can make something work. La 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 la. Does that make sense? Okay, let's look at the TradFi today because I'm bored of crypto. I'm bored of crypto and we need to make some real money. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. Hold on one second. So first we're going to look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ's pulling back. NASDAQ's pulling back. It is reacting from an area of support over here. So that is probably bullish for today. Probably bullish for today. It might be a local top here, not gonna lie, because we still need to reassess how price is doing. Let's see what the 4 hour is giving us real quick here. Yeah, 4 hours giving us another all-time high yet again. S&P 500 at a zone of support again. Let's see if we're gonna get another entry within that range over here. That would be nice. Moving on, gold. Oh my god, that is so good. Greatness. Okay, great. So clean long from here, actually not bad at all. Not bad of a setup. Potential return over here. However, it could be just a pullback to drop again and clear some liquidity, because there is some liquidity here. I think this low is liquidity down here. Is it? Yeah, this one here. Anyway, I'll probably long gold around the 0.5 again, because I want it to hold, right? I want it to hold. And if it holds, it's going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice if it holds. But again, we had one tap, second tap. Now, are we going to get a third tap, or are we just going to create a higher low here and continue? That's the question. But it's reacting from resistance. So I'm just going to wait for it to drop down to my area of interest for gold. Copper. Ranging after a massive expansive move, potentially gearing up for another leg up. Or is this going to be just simply another pattern with a leg down like this? Also a possibility. Also a possibility, definitely. Silver pulling back nicely. Overall, very bullish on silver. $50 on silver is my target. So I want to see $50 on silver. So any pullback on silver, I really want to be in. So that's a pullback right now. Same as gold. So let's say if gold pulls back, but silver is giving a higher target, so it might not pull back. Actually, we need to reassess. Balance price action over here. Price reacted. So this is a bearish order flow at the moment that we're seeing. That's a bearish order flow. So it is possibly, you know, a possibility that we can drop down, retest this, and then take another long here for silver. That will be interesting. Yes, you guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't. If you're new here, welcome. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a lot. Make sure you go in the description box and you sign up for the wait list for the mentorship. It is really important you do that, because you are going to learn a lot of things that are going to change your perspective on trading a lot, and you're gonna be able to execute these things on the charts as soon as you watch the videos. So this is my recommendation for you guys. Go and do it, and make sure you come on Discord, because it's also important for you to have a community, right? This is what I said even to Mr. MG, right? Community is extremely important. Being proactive is extremely important. Asking questions, that's what's gonna get you, there. Quickly having a look at the VIX. I don't like the look on VIX at all right now, which is the fear gauge in the markets. I don't like the look on it right now at all, because usually when it gets to levels that are this low, it spikes, right? It spikes. So spike from here is not going to be great for the markets at all. Just warning you on that. We need to be watching out the VIX right now. It is showing that it's going to be relaxed maybe for today, but for how long, we don't know. So we need to see what does it do, because it seems like it wants to spike up again, just like it did on the 23rd of May. Does that make sense? Yeah, dollar is unfortunately still bullish, right? Still bullish. Dollar might be bullish up until like it reaches this SR flip over here. So let's have a look what it does. But for the moment, bullish, right? So a little bit more, and then we're going to reassess on that as well. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that this was useful for you, and you're gonna keep on learning a lot of things with me. And I will see you guys in the next one, right? Which is tomorrow. Make sure you're here. And also make sure to rewatch some of the live streams just for fun. When you have time, rewatch them, because you are going to learn even more things. You're welcome.